Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, and I'm your coach of the Hazleton Hoopas in the PFCFL. I am here to deliver you guys another free agency announcement. I recorded the old free agency announcement like 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to upload it then, but I got really busy with school stuff, so I couldn't do it. So you probably would have seen it earlier today, if not, the day before, depending on when I get to upload this. But we have a new free agency announcement for week 6. This is for active for week 6. We got rid of Gardevoir, and before anyone says anything, let's look at the situation here. Okay, so first of all, low HP attack and defense stats. It's not too big of a deal. We can play around that, but the low defense stats kind of an issue, because any good physical mon is going to just destroy Gardevoir really quickly. And while it has amazing special attack and special defense, the base 115 special defense is great, and base 125 special attack is phenomenal. It just isn't enough. It isn't enough to justify keeping Gardevoir on the team. We'll have to pick up another solid psychic or fairy type. I'm feeling more to the fairy-ish direction, but we're gonna have to pick up another fairy type of some kind. Somewhere, someplace, somehow, we're gonna have to find a fairy that isn't being used and scoop it up. But that's the Gardevoir here. Not too. It was my main thing was the speed, base 80 speed. A lot of weeks, a lot of our opponents will have a lot of mons that outspeed base 80. Let's talk about our previous week's match against Detroit, where he had Thunderous Eye, he had Victini, he had Cresselia, he had Chinchino, he had Magmortar. All of those mons on his team. He had Zangoose. About half of his team would have outsped Gardevoir, unless it was Scarfed, and that's banking on him not having Scarfers. Let's look at let's potentially look at the match against Seattle, where he had Weavile and he had Megalodios and Rotom Heat and Lucario, who all outsped, and Mesprit and Stoutland, who speed tie. I don't like speed ties. Even against Andy, who was an opponent who we beat solidly. Rotom Wash, Crocodile, Megaseptile, Excelgor, Archeops, Illumise, all of these outsped Gardevoir. And a lot of them were reasons why Gardevoir just couldn't show up to a match. And that's a problem. I need every mon on my team to have equal of an opportunity to be able to show up in a match. And Gardevoir is just not one of them. Gardevoir just doesn't have what I need it to have. And as much as I wanted to make it work in this type of format where your opponent can prepare for your team, it's not effective because it's just too easy to speed creep. And yeah, it's just no point in it, in my opinion. So what I decided is I'm going through a several step process of kind of rebuilding my team. And by rebuilding, I mean I'm going to be scooping up. I'm going to be using my last 2 transactions to swap out a few mons. I'm not going to reveal. I will say which ones I am dropping. If that helps if that helps anyone in any way, then more power to you. But I'm definitely looking next to drop Rotom Frost. Because Rotom Frost just isn't doing anything for me. And in Rotom Frost's place is going to be a very decent mon, and if anyone decides to scoop it up, then fuck me. But I feel like I have a really good mon in mind to replace him, and then we can work on covering the fairy typing afterwards. But regardless of all that, in Gardevoir's place, we scooped up Thunderous Therian. A couple people asked me, why the hell did you scoop up Thunderous Therian? It's another flying type for your team. You already have Tornadus Therian. What's the reasoning here? First of all, Volt Absorb. Volt Absorb gives me an immunity to one of the most spammable moves in the game, being Volt Switch. A lot of Mons, a lot of fast Mons just want to come in, click Volt Switch, and then get back out. Get that damage off. Having Thunderous here allows me to wall that. Base 101 speed allows me to speed creep and outspeed base 100 speed Pokemon, which is fantastic because there's a lot of base 100s that are really threatening, like the Victinis, the Manaphies, the Mews, stuff like that. It allows me to outspeed them, which is awesome. Base 80 special defense and base 70 defense, they're not fantastic. They're not going to take very many hits, but he's not meant to. So, yeah, there's that. Base 79 HP, not terrible. Having a base 105 attack stat allows me to potentially have the ability to run mixed with move options like Superpower, Knockoff, Thunder Punch, U-Turn. What else do we have here? Having access to Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb is great too. Fairy coverage. We have access to moves like Iron Tail, which could do crazy damage to fairies as well in the future. We have access to Foul Play, which could be interesting. Power Herb Fly if we ever have a reason to use that. Crunch / Dark Pulse, depending on what we need. More that week, we have a lot of move options, and then to top it all off, the icing on the cake is a base 145 special attack stat. That's base 125. That's base 145. Enough said. It's the special attack stat itself. If it's not resisted, it's gonna hurt. A Thunderbolt from a Thunderous Therian does depending on the Mon, it's 90% of Mons are a 2-shot if it doesn't resist it, or they're pretty much getting 2-shot by this Thunderous, and that's insanity. How strong this Mon is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Thunderous Therian is going to be a fantastic Mon to add to the team. We can build off of our Volturn core that we're working on building. And it really is helping. It's really going to be helpful in stage 1 of our full team rebuild that we need to do, so that we can remain very prominent contenders in the league. We're doing fantastic so far, sitting at a nice clean 4-1 with a +10 differential. But we've already seen this season's a lot tougher than last season, so we're going to have to be extra careful, and I plan to be. And Thunderous Therian is going to help us be careful in that manner. It's going to allow us to just spam hard damage on our opponents, and they're not going to be able to have too many answers for it. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are hyped to see what Thunderous Therian can do on our team, I've decided I'm going to name it Thorian. For league battles and such. So if you guys are excited to see what Thorian can do for the team, please leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.